Hey guys, what's up? Abomination9 here, back playing some more Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links. We left off, we were opening up the last set, which was, what, the Nova one? Burning Nova, possibly? Yeah, Burning Nova, and yesterday night, Empire of Scarlet came out, which, I don't know if there's anything in this that I really care about, but I have 3,657 gems, so we can go to town on this mini box, which unfortunately they've been boosted up to 100, instead of, what were they, 80? I believe, with Clash of Wings. I think Clash of Wings was a mini. Yeah, they were 80. They had to be 80 because this is like I'm only missing 7. So yeah, I don't know about it. Like, I like vampires. I've always wanted to make a vampire set, but there's not. I don't know if this is enough vampire stuff to really get a good deck out of. We have Vampire Vamp, and you have Vampire Scarlet Scourge and Vampire Familiar. I mean, there's a decent amount of vampire cards. You got Vampire Retainer, but I don't know. We'll see. Like, I really don't want to throw away 3,600 gems in this set, but we'll just see what happens. We're opening 10 at a time because it doesn't matter. A single creep off the bat, nothing special. So, Final Inzection, that's one of the sets in this. You have the Inzection set, the Vampires, the Butter Spies, I think. Send 5 face up Inzector cards you control to the graveyard, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Also, during the battle phase of this turn, your opponent cannot activate monster effects that activate in the hand or a graveyard. Alright, so 5 face up Inzector cards. So, 2 in your spells, 3 monsters, and then you play this in your 6th and final slot to wipe everything on your side, to wipe everything on their side. I don't know about that, though. Maybe Insectors can raise themselves from the graveyard, so it might not be too bad. I don't know. I think they might have some sort of graveyard thing going on. Crossbreed. Banish 2 monsters from your hand and or face-up field with the same original type and attribute, but different names. That felt like that was worded weirdly. Add 1 monster with the same original type and attribute as those monsters, but a different name from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 crossbreed per turn. And Inzector Hopper looks like a Sentai character, which by that I mean Power Rangers. Once per turn, you can equip 1 Inzector, a monster from your hand or graveyard, to this card. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by 4. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard. The monsters it was equipped to can attack your opponent directly this turn. Other monsters cannot attack the turn this you activate its effect. Okay, so you can equip an Inzector to this card. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster level is increased by 4. See, it says you can equip 1 Inzector to this card, while this card is equipped to a monster. The wording is weird, because you can equip to Inzector, but then you can equip Hopper to something else, assuming that there's cards that are allowed to be equipped to. Because I was going to say, there's cards in this set, the Quasars or whatever, that gain power off of increasing their level. But I guess maybe you can't attach this to that? I don't know. We're wasting time. Wasting time speculating. Triple Creep. And that's it, apparently. Blade Bouncer. I think the Bouncers are in here too. Once per turn, if this card attacks an opponent and your opponent controls a monster at the end of the damage step, you can discard 1 card. This card can attack an opponent's monster once again during the battle phase. Meh. Vampire's Domain. This is a continuous spell. Once per turn, you can pay 500 life points. In your main phase this turn, you can normal summon 1 vampire monster in addition to your normal summons and set. Even if this card leaves the field, you can only gain this effect once per turn. Each time your vampire monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, gain the same amount of life points. What the heck? Pay 500 to get a 1-cost vampire out, basically. Which, this dude is a 1-cost. Vamp might be a 2-cost? Vamp might be a 2, but he is definitely a 1. Yeah, she's a 2, but he's a 1. So that's not too bad. And of course, all the other vampires that were previously in Duel Links are all one cost, I think. I'm almost 100% certain all of them are one cost except for maybe one card. And not, of course, counting like Vampire Lord or whatever that require you to summon. Not Vampire Lord, Vampire Genesis, I think is his name. Genesis something. He requires you to have Vampire Lord on the board. So not anything that's crazy special summoning like that, but just the normal vampires are all one cost except for Vamp. So that's pretty good. Naturia Horned also more Naturia supports, that's pretty good. When your opponent special summons a monster, you contribute one face-up Naturia monster you control, except this card to destroy the special summoned monster. And this is a no-cost beater for Naturia. That's pretty good. This is like screw, I was about to say Sylvans. Screw furries for hires. Because that's all for hires do, is special summon. Tribute one Naturia, possibly itself. And then get rid of it. No more flooded board. Single creep on that. Inzektor Earwing. Once per turn, you can equip one Inzektor monster from your hand or graveyard to this card. Okay, so yeah, they can equip themselves to each other. While this card is equipped to a monster, the monster gains attack and defense equal to this card's attack and defense. When this card is sent to the graveyard, while equipped to a monster, the monster this card was equipped to gains 1,000 attack until the end phase. So these Inzektors are actually a really good set. Just from reading them so far, cool, we got 2 domains. Inzektor Sword Excalibur. And this is a equip spell. But yeah, the Inzektor seems like they're actually maybe the star, possibly, of this deck? I don't know. Equip only to an Inzektor monster, it gains 800 attack and defense while this face-up card on the field is sent. When this face-up card on the field is sent to the graveyard, target one Inzektor monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. Alright. Just normal equip stuff. So, they're all about equipping, which I guess makes sense. The Power Ranger Sentai aesthetic kind of says that. Crossbreed. Pulling the Rug, this is a counter. Negate the activation and effect of an effect monster whose effect activated when a monster was normal summoned, even itself, and destroy the that effect monster. What? Negate the activation and effect of an effect monster whose effect activated when a monster was normal summoned, even itself, and destroy the effect monster. Wow, what? Complicated, but that might have use. Inzektor Hopper. Triples. We've only gotten through 5 packs because I've been talking too much. We got Esperoba. Also, if you didn't notice, I have Esperoba to level 45, which is max. Inzektor Earwing. Variable form. Continuous trap. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. Target 2 face-up Inzektor monsters you control. Equip one to the other. Okay, weird. Target one Inzektor monster you control that is an equip card. Special summon that target in a face-up defensive position. Okay, you kind of need this card in an Inzektor set. Whoa! Out of nowhere, Vampire Familiar. What the heck? No one was seeing that coming. There's no... Oh, we had Esperoba face. So apparently Esperoba face equals super rare, apparently. So Vampire Familiar. If this card is special summon, you can pay 500 life points and add one vampire monster from your deck to your hand, which you can do this with Domain. If this card is in your graveyard, you can set one vampire card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Vampire Familiar once per turn. Okay, single creep. Final Injection, Extra Net. So this is probably for the extra deck. If a monster is special summoned from the extra deck, the opponent of the player that conducted the special summon can apply this effect. Draw one card. Okay, this is a field spell that, assuming your opponent doesn't play extra deck either, you're gaining a draw every time you summon something from the extra deck, which synchros are coming, so I don't know how I feel about that unless this card gets... Okay, so this card has almost no merit now, but when synchros come out, assuming those are from the extra deck, because I don't really know how synchros work, because I never played that generation. I've only played the OG cards, and of course anything in Duel Links. So I'm not familiar with the synchro mechanic if that is a mechanic. But they are coming, and I believe they do go in the extra deck, so this card could become a problem and might be limited to one, mayhaps, or just banned altogether. I don't know, because you're going to be like summoning extra cards from your extra deck left, right, and center, I think, with synchros. At least that's how people make it sound, so I don't know. Okay card now, godlike probably when synchros hit. Berserk Scales. Target one face up, monster you control, this is a quick effect, except a monster that is attacking directly. It gains 1,000 attack. Also, it cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of this turn. During the end phase of this turn, it loses 2,000. So buff up for a turn and then become completely useless afterwards. Single creep. Dread Scythe Harvester. I think are Dread Scythes in this set. You contribute one insect type monster to have this card gain 500 until the end of turn. Never good to have effects that go away at the end of the turn. -1 to gain 500 for a single turn. Not good. Vampire Crimson. Not Crimson. Crimson. Is a 1 cost, so you can get this out easy, though. If you can somehow cut this out, this is a no cost 2,000. If a monster you control would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can pay 1,000 life points for each monster that would be destroyed instead. You must protect all your monsters that would be destroyed if you use this effect. Okay. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed any monsters by battle, you can special summon them from the graveyard to your field. This is pretty good. Vampire. Harehane. You can return up to 3 monsters on the field to the owner's hands, which is okay, but that's a 1 cost card, so almost not useful. Another Dread Scythe. Hit me up with that Vampires, whatever this is right here. That's what I want. Watch it be this. Extra net. Berserk Scales. Oh, why did you give me Glint for Berserk Scales? Come on now. Up, triples. No Glint, though. So this is the first pack, but it's taken me 10 minutes just to open it. Crossbreed. Greed Quasar. This card's original attack and defense are equal to its level times 300. This monster's level is increased by the level of monsters it destroys by battle. So it's not too bad, but it's not too great either. It starts off at 2,100. It's a 2,100 2 cost that grows when it kills something, but it actually has to be able to kill something when it's measly 2,100. Inzektor Orb. Target one face-up Inzektor monster you control. Equip this card to that target. It gains 500 attack and defense. When exactly one Inzektor monster you control is targeted by a card effect, except during the damage step, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard and negate that effect. And last pack with nothing in it. A third Dread Scythe, thanks. Cyber Shadow Gardener. This is a continuous trap. Activate only during your main phase. After activation, plus summon this card. It is treated as an effective monster. Machine, Earth, level 4, attack questionable. This card is still treated as a trap card. If this card is selected as an attack target, the attack and defense of this card becomes the attack and defense of the attacking monster. This card is set in its spell and trap card zone during your opponent's end phase. Okay. So put it on the board. It counts as an Earth. So anything that buffs Earth will make this run over anything on your opponent's side of the field that attacks it, which is pretty broken. Well, it's not broken, but that's how you would use this card. Get something that buffs either machines or Earth. So Machine Assembly Line will push it up by 200. The Earth field spell can buff it up to 500. Flat 500. Is it base? No, it's not even base. It's whatever their attack is becomes its attack. So yeah, runs over anything that attacks it if you have a field spell on the board. Vampire Takeover. If you have no cards in your field zone and all face-up monsters you control, minimum 1, are zombie, activate 1 Vampire Kingdom, which I think is this, directly from your deck. Then you can special summon 1 Dark Vampire monster from your graveyard in face-up defensive position. You can only activate 1 Vampire Takeover per turn. What in the heck? Never mind, vampires are broken. So, 1 vampire on the board, flip this trap, put your Vampire Kingdom on the board, which gives all zombies plus 500 by default. Then special summon a vampire that's possibly been thrown away, which you could easily do with Dark World dealings. Come on, Konami, don't break the game. Though I guess you can't break it any harder than for hires. So not that they're that broken. You just need a chalice or something like that to stop for hires. They're not that broken. Just deal with them. Vampire's Domain, cool. I think I have full set of that now. Elemental Hero, Necroid Shaman. Also, for some reason, there's another Elemental Hero in the set. Surprise, for no reason. You need Wild Heart and Necro Shade, which I don't think Necro Shade's easy to get. Must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card is special summoned, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy the target. Then special summon one monster from your opponent's graveyard to their side of the field. So you kill it, which puts it in the graveyard, and which then could be special summoned to your side of the board. So if you kill something strong, so say they have a Blue Eyes for some reason because they're playing Blue Eyes, kill it with Necroid Shaman, then summon it to your side of the field. That's pretty crazy. Vampire Vamp, cool. I don't think I got one to her yet. I definitely want to at least have 3 of these before I stop opening this set. Once per turn, when this card or a vampire monster is normal summoned to your side of the field, except Vampire Orcus or Vampire Koala, you can why not Vampire Koala? Come on now. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls whose attack is higher than this card's. Equip it to this card. This card gains attack equal to the combined original attack of the monster equipped to this card to it by this effect. This card is sent to the graveyard while equipped with a card by this effect. Special summon that card from the graveyard. Wow. So put Vamp on there. Get any vampire on the board other than Koala or Orchis, whoever Orchis is, if that's even in the game, and suck off one of their monsters. No pun intended, because that's what that term is used. Suck. Give them a suck. So why isn't there's a card called Vampire Sucker? She needs to be called Vampire Sucker. Literally sucks a monster off their board onto your side. Yeah, and yes, I know, haha, whatever. But I'm being serious. Sucks a monster from their side of the board to your side of the board, and when she gets killed, their monster is just gone, and she gets to come back. Broken. Triple Creeps. Okay, we got Esperoba, which last time we saw Esperoba, we got a freaking super rare, so give me that Vampire Kingdom, come on. Quasar, Phantom Bouncer. This card is on the field and sent to the graveyard. You can add 2 Bouncer cards from your deck to the hand. Bashing Shield. Thanks, Konami. If only to a normal monster / set a monster, it gains 1,000 attack. You take no battle damage from attacks involving it. Great. It's a good card, but whatever. I wanted the freaking... Oh, triples! Wink, explosion. Give me them psychedelic. Psychedelic, finally. Just let it be freaking vampire, not Insector. Esperoba, too. Okay, Insector Giga Cricket. If this card, this is a 1 cost. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 1 insect type monster from your graveyard to target 1 face-up Insector monster you control. Put this card from the graveyard to the target. The effect of an Insector Giga Cricket can only be used once per turn. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster gains attack. Original attack becomes 2,000, and if it attacks defensive position, monster inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Death Scythe for the 15th millionth time. Come on, Vampires. Wall Illusions. Come on, those freaking psychedelic colors, and you give me super rare. So, this card is attacked by a monster after damage calculations will return the monster to the hand. So, it's a pretty decent card. 1850, which is an odd number, but it puts it over anything that's 18, though there's, of course, a lot of monsters in Duel Links now that are 1900. But if it can somehow survive, you blocked and put whatever it is back into their hands, so it's not bad. We're probably going to have to blow all these gems. So all we've gotten so far is a wall and... well, we get a wall, a bashing shield, and whatever that... The Vampire Familiar, which is a princess. So this is one of your buffers. As long as this card remains a face up on the field, all darks get 500 to both, and all lights get minus 400 to both. Morpho Butter Spy. Have we got any Butter Spies yet? Butter Spies are a major archetype of this set, and this is the first one, isn't it? Once per turn... When the battle position of an opponent's monster is changed, except for in the damage type, you can target one of those monsters. It loses 1,000 attack and defense permanently, which Econ changes positions. Like, come on, this is broke. I'm not gonna say broken, but there's a lot of ways you can change battle positions. That's all I'm gonna say. Materia Horn Needle again, cool. Get a full set of that. Empire's Domain, we have a full set of that. Insector Ladybug. Once per turn, you can equip one Insector monster from your hand or graveyard to this card. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by 2. Also, it gains attack and defense equal to this card's attack and defense, which is only 500 and 1,000. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard to target up to one face-up monster you control. Increase that target's level by up to 2. Okay, and we got Cyber Ogre. By discarding this card from your hand or from your hand to the graveyard, negate one battle involving a Cyber Ogre on your side of the field, and it gains 2,000 attack until the end of this turn, end of its next battle. Okay, this effect can be activated during either player's turn, which is pretty strong, giving something 2,000. Well, it's an ogre, so it becomes a 3,900, and can swing for that almost 4,000 next turn and do devastating damage. So not bad. But always kind of screwing us over though. A variable form, Morpho Butter Spy, which we already got, but the last one was a Glossy, I believe. Insector Orb. We might be able to start flying through these now. Esperoba like this one for some reason. Insector Giga Cricket, hit me up with that freaking Vampire Kingdom. Pyramid of Wonders. All zombie type monsters you control gain 200 attack for each other monster your opponent controls. If exactly one zombie monster you control and no others will be destroyed, you can send this card to the graveyard. So you'd have Pyramid of Wonders, Vampire Domain, and Vampire Kingdom on the board in your Vampire deck. Though that floods your spell and trap zones. Does it matter? It kind of does, but still. Vampire's Desire. Target one face-up monster you control and send one vampire monster your opponent from your deck to the graveyard with a different level from that monster, and if you do, the targeted monster becomes a level of that sent monster in the graveyard until the end of this turn, which you can benefit the use of Beatdown with that. Target one vampire monster in your graveyard, send one monster you control to the graveyard, and if you do special summon the targeted monster, you can only activate one Vampire Desire per turn. So, have your baby on board, put your buff vampire in the graveyard, beat down with the card you have on your side, which kills whatever they have on their side. Have something to keep it alive for one more turn on their side. Then when it becomes your turn again, activate its second effect, switching your baby out for your big boy, and there you go. Which is Apprentice, Insector, Giga Cricket, and Materia Horn Needle. So we have 3 Horn Needles now. Triple Kareeb. So we've gone through 1,000 packs now, which is 220 packs, I mean. Variable Form, Insector Hopper, and Vampire's Desire. I meant we've gone through 1,000 gems, which is 20 packs. Which is Apprentice again. We have a full set of that. Oh my god, Dread Scythe. Will you get the heck out of here? And Cyber Ogre. So we got Wall and the Shield from that. I need to click this on. So we got a Familiar, we got a Wall, we got Bashing Shield. We only got one Vamp, which is honestly the only card I really want in the set to begin with. So obviously we're going in. We're at 30 packs now. I might just blow all these gems in this set and be done with it. Insector Ant. Once per turn, you can equip one Insector, blah blah blah. While this card is equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by 3. Also, it gains attack and defense equal to this card's attack and defense, which is 200 and 600. If the equipped monster would be destroyed, you can destroy this equipped card instead. Blade Bouncer and Insector Sword, Zexcalibur. Phantom Bouncer, Swallowtail Butterspy. When another monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to the battle damage inflicted. Butterspies are OP. This is a beater for the Butterspies because it's 1,800, no cost. Vampire's Desire, we have a full set of that. Triple Kareeb's Yellow Glint. Hit me up with that. Vampire Kingdom. Vampire Kingdom! There's another spell here, but come on. Kingdom. Insector Ladybug. Honestly, Vamp and Kingdom is all I really want. Blade Bouncer. Vampire Kingdom! We got it. So, it's a field spell. Zombie type monsters, well, actually, Kingdom's a field spell, so it actually doesn't clog your spell and trap. So you had Kingdom, you would use a Desire, you would have the other one out, which I've somehow Vampire's Domain, Vampire's Kingdom, etc. Zombie type monsters gain 500 attack during damage calculations only once per turn. When a monster card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, target one card on the field, send one dark vampire monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, destroy the target. So, I think the only problem with this is your monsters are getting 500, but once per turn, when a card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, target one card on the field, send one vampire monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, destroy that target. The problem with this is that you're going to burn yourself out, possibly. At least you don't have to do it from the field, though it's only procs on people who want to send cards from the deck to the graveyard. But if you're running against a person who is sending cards to the graveyard, like Nichiria, not Nichiria, my bad, Sylvans. If you're going up against Sylvans, you can possibly like destroy their entire board. Maybe if you keep sending vampires to the graveyard, which the vampires actually want to be in the graveyard in certain circumstances. So that's actually pretty good. The only problem is if you end up decking out because of this. So at least we got Kingdom. We can at least say that. But I think I'm going to go in until we get the big vamp. And is there anything else up here? Well, we don't have the other familiar. We might as well try to get the familiar too. Byroid Sacrifice. Activate only if a monster on your side of the field is destroyed by battle. Special summon one Cyber Ogre from your hand. And a third Cyber Ogre. Read Quasar, Byroid Sacrifice, and Cyber Ogre 2. 2 Cyber Ogres. A fusion summon of this monster can only be conducted with the above fusion materials. When this card attacks, it gains attack equal to half the attack of the attack target during damage calculations only, which is not too bad. That's okay. Zector Ladybug and Zector Sword, Zect Caliber, and Vampire Vamp. That's our second one. We just need one more. Variable form, Insector Earwing, Insector Hopper, Insector Ant, Byroid Sacrifice, Hare Hane. Come on, Konami. Nichiria White Oak. There's another beater for Nichiria. When this card is targeted by an opponent's card effect, you can send this face-up card you control to the graveyard. Special summon 2 level 4 or lower Nichiria monsters from your deck. They cannot declare an attack and are destroyed during your end phase. I don't know. That probably has its uses. Vampire Crimson, cool. We got a second one of him/her. Cyber Shadow Gardner again. And last but not least, complete garbage. Insector Giga Cricket, a Hollow Butterspy, which is actually fun, and Insector Orb. So we got Kingdom out of that at least. Which we can't get a second Kingdom. We can't reset this box until we get Vampire Scarlet Scourge. Which I don't know if I should... Let's open one, just because I have 50 gems. Oh, triples. Come on. Oh my god, please hit me up with that freaking Scourge, please. It's this card. Zector and Zector Ladybug, Flash of the Forbidden Seal. That would have been great. I would have reset the box right now if it was a vampire. God dang it, Konami screwing me over again. If y'all watched the set with the furries, Beat was in the second to last pack. Like, I'm not over the fact that Beat was in the second to last pack. I had to open the entire box just to get one Beat. It was disgusting. The Flash of the Forbidden Seal. Activate only when all your opponent's monster card zones are occupied by monsters. Destroy all monsters on your opponent's side of the field, which is meh. Because Pineapple Blast is the exact same thing if I'm remembering correctly. So actually, let's open up 100 more. So this is going to be 43 packs probably for this video. We found on Zection, Bioroid Sacrifice, Cyber Ogre, 2. So we're at 3 random packs opened out of nowhere. I'm still trying to hit that vampire. Oh, triples, come on! Psychedelic! Oh, come on. Variable Form, Insector Ant, Cyber Shadow, Gardener, okay, whatever. Looks like we're going back in the 500. So there's going to be 43 pack openings, I guess. We have 1,500 gems left over. Single Creeb. Materia Spider Fang. This card cannot declare an attack unless your opponent activated a spell, trap, or monster effect. Berserk Scales, Vampire's Desire. Single Creep again. Konami's really screwing me over. Insector E-Wing, Great Quasar, and Interior Horn Needle. I haven't got any ultras out of this set. I want to point that out. Insector Ant, Insector Earwing, Elemental Hero, a Necroid Shaman. So we at least have 2 of those now, I guess. Final Section, Pulling the Rug, Moonlit Papillion. A Papillion. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower battle or butter spy monster from your deck, which is not too bad. Definitely a must for your butter spies. Insector Ant, Insector Giga Crickets, Honey. I'm gonna have to stop this video soon though. Extra net, because it's half an hour and it's gonna take me like 5 years to edit this video. Variable Form, Insector Hopper, Single Carib. It's actually gonna take yellow glint. It's actually gonna take 3 hours at the very least. Fusion. There's no high-ranking fusion, so you yellow glint me for one of these? Vampire's Domain, Interior White Oak, Cyber Ogre, my 3rd Cyber Ogre, and you give me a yellow glint? Excuse me, Konami? Insector Earwing, Phantom Bouncer, Cyber Ogre, Witch's Apprentice, Interious Spiderfang, Goblin Decoy Squad. Well, the first time I got in that card, really. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can draw 1 card. This card attacks. It has changed the defense position at the end of the battle phase. This card's battle position cannot be changed until the end of your next turn, except with a card effect. Me. Final pack with nothing in it. Final Section, Blade Bouncer, and Goblin Decoy. Nothing special. We didn't get another Vamp either. So, we got Wall, we got Familiar, we got Bashing Shield, we got Flashing, or Flash of the Forbidden Spell, Vampire Kingdom, but no Ultra Rare, even though there's 3 in these boxes now. We almost went through half the box. There's only 57 packs left. No Ultra Rare. But we got 2 Vamps. We've at least gotten 1 of every card, minus 5 Supers and the 3 Ultras. We need another Vampire Takeover. So we need more Vampire Takeovers. We need another Crimson. We need another Spider Fang. Another Pyramid of Wonders. More of the Butter Spy stuff. Is there a Butter Spy in the Supers? There's not. Like, I would like to open up another set, but this video's gone off long enough. Hopefully you appreciate the Vampire Kingdom with Vampire Familiar, I guess. We can come back in the next video, which we will most definitely probably get Scarlet. It's almost impossible to not get Scarlet with 1,500 gems. I really did not want to waste my like almost 4,000 gems on this stupid box, but because I need more Dark World dealings. I need some other stuff. Specifically, Dark World dealings is what I'm aiming for, but Konami, come on. So guys, thanks for watching. Tune into the next episode. Like, subscribe, comment, do. See ya.